It was the summer of 1858, and London could no longer breathe. The Thames had become something no one dared speak of aloud. What flowed through that river wasn't just water anymore. It was rot. But the Thames was only the beginning of what we forgot. Across centuries and continents, darker secrets waited in the silence. Some truths are buried so deep, they become invisible to everyone. Picture Victorian London at its most magnificent. Gas lamps illuminating cobblestone streets, top hats and parasols, tea services gleaming on white tablecloths. The British Empire stood at its zenith, ruling a quarter of humanity. But beneath all that splendor, something terrible was rising from below. The Thames carried everything the city wanted to forget: human waste, industrial chemicals, the dead. And that summer the heat came, and with it, the smell arrived. People described it as a living thing, a presence that invaded every home. Parliament, sitting right beside the river, could no longer function. They soaked curtains in chloride of lime, but nothing could block the stench. You see, the city had been dumping its waste for centuries. Every flush, every factory, every hospital, it all went straight into the river. Now the river was giving it all back to them. And this time, there was nowhere to hide from what they'd created. Parliament finally acted, not out of compassion but out of disgust. Joseph Bazalgette designed a sewage system that would save millions of lives. But here's what no one tells you. It only happened because the powerful suffered too. The poor had smelled that stench for decades. Nobody cared until it reached Parliament. Now, jump forward 70 years to the flat plains of Texas. The year is 1930. Natural gas flows through pipelines into family homes. But there was a problem no one had considered. The gas was completely odorless. You couldn't see it. You couldn't smell it. If a line leaked into your home while you slept, you simply never woke up. No warning, no chance to flee. Families were found in their beds, still, peaceful, dead. That same year, 1930, the state finally mandated adding mercaptan to the gas. Suddenly, leaks had a smell, that rotten egg warning we know today. And the deaths stopped, almost overnight, because people could finally detect the danger. The solution was so simple, so obvious, and it came too late for many. But you see, that story fades from memory because it was solved. Now we travel somewhere darker, to occupied Manchuria in the late 1930s. Behind concrete walls, Japan's Unit 731 was conducting research. They called their victims logs, dehumanized, reduced to numbers on a ledger. Chinese civilians and prisoners of war, brought in for experimentation. Vivisections performed without anesthesia. The doctors wanted to see everything. Limbs frozen solid, then shattered to study how flesh breaks. Forced infections with plague, cholera, anthrax, all carefully documented. The data was meticulous. The cruelty was beyond what words can hold. When the war ended, justice should have come, but it didn't. The United States granted immunity to Unit 731's leaders in exchange for their data. Men who had tortured thousands, walked free, became doctors, respected citizens. The facility was destroyed, the records classified, the world looked away. Now here's where it gets strange, closer to home. In early 20th century America, human zoos were a popular attraction. People from colonized nations, displayed behind ropes for the curious. At Coney Island's Luna Park, a Filipina woman stood in a cage. Ropes tied around her, spectators tossed peanuts. She was not considered human. These weren't hidden events. They were advertised, government-sanctioned, family entertainment. When the zoos finally closed, no one apologized, no one remembered. And then there's the thread connecting two maritime disasters no one talks about. In 1912, the Titanic sank. The aftermath required a terrible innovation. They numbered the bodies, photographed the faces, cataloged every personal effect. 5 years later, Halifax exploded. And those same techniques were deployed again. The same methods, the same grim efficiency, because the dead need identifying. We don't learn from disaster, we just get better at cataloging it.